God.
It's every time. You got that Cortana voice in the background.
I know.
Recording in progress.
Is
that who it is? Cortana?
I don't know.
I don't think it's Cortana. It sounds like Cortana though.
Anyways,
Michael,
welcome.
Michael, did you never
Welcome to the Dr. Cellini Rounds podcast.
All right. What were we saying, Tommy?
did you never play Halo?
Yeah, of course. We went crazy in med school. Well, not only, I mean, people won't remember this, but do you remember at home back in our old house, we would literally have the longest LAN cable of all time hooking Xboxes together from downstairs all the way upstairs.
Yeah,
I remember
that.
Yeah. That was the infamous calzone issue in our house.
What do you
Calzone.
mean?
You don't remember this? Literally, Jared. Goddamn.
Calzone
The
issue.
calzone. We were doing.
Did we just
LAN
mention
party.
Jared for the fourth
Yeah, it
damn
was
time?
fourth time in a row. He brought it up. Oh, I can't believe it. We were
Jared is not worth mentioning every episode.
Every single episode.
I know. We were doing a LAN party, or I was doing a LAN party with my friends.
Explain to the listeners what a LAN
yeah.
party is.
This is
So-
before Wi-Fi.
Yeah, this is pre like you could connect your Xboxes via Wi-Fi. You physically had to connect your
There's also pre-sexual intercourse. But go on.
that too. Very pre that.
Except for me, I was fighting girls off. I was like, get off my
Yeah,
controller.
right. Get off my controller.
Stop. I'm trying to headshot Tommy.
Yeah.
God.
Oh God. Anyway, so a LAN party.
Yeah, I'm 39 years old.
LAN party pre-internet. When you want to play video games with your friends, you can't just go on Xbox Live and the internet or whatever and go on the server. You have to physically connect the Xboxes or whatever console you're playing together, and then you have multiple TVs. You connect them together. You can actually play like a multiplayer game. So back in high school, I think, God, Jimmy, you were in college at the time, weren't you?
And Halo. I was a freshman when Halo came out.
Yeah, it was Halo
Halo
2.
1.
Yeah, I was at Halo 1.
It was Halo
Okay.
1. I was a freshman. And we were like, oh.
Yeah, the pistol.
It was
so
that and
sick.
Counter-Strike.
Oh yeah, I forgot Counter-Strike. Counter-Strike was a big thing amongst the PC gaming world. But so we would play. I had a bunch of friends over. I think I had like swim friends, like friends from growing up and stuff. We had like 16 people. Jim and Michael were there. I don't know if any of your friends were there or not.
No, I didn't have any friends.
I think you were there, Michael. I think all three. It was like over a Christmas break or something.
None of my friends played video games.
Yeah. Oh my God, cool friends.
No,
But,
I'm not saying that they're cool. I'm just saying we just didn't. It's kind of like movies. We don't watch movies. We don't play video.
Michael's like, I was anticipating YouTube. I was already preparing for
I
that.
wish. God, I wish.
But so we were all playing. It was a night, and I think our parent or my dad decided to make calzones that night for all the friends. And it was just, I don't. For those who don't know, our dad is a phenomenal cook. Hence the Cellini's Pizza logo we have as our background. And so we were playing the games. We were making calzones, and as like I think in between some sort of round, we were like about to eat. And Jim, after like only half the calzones were made, there was 2 more in the oven, and Jim went to turn the lock cycle on, like the oven cleaning cycle.
Oh,
You know, in the old ovens, all you do is flick this thing and it just
now
locks.
I remember. Now
And
I
it goes to
remember.
like superheated mode and you can't unlock it.
Michael,
whatever's in
enable
there-
screen sharing.
Right on cue is the screen sharing problem. And
Yeah, Jim was trying to get something special.
let me
in there.
hang on before
Yeah.
he shares. Let me guess. I bet it's either a picture of Halo or an oven.
There it is.
This is what a LAN party looks like. And it's
Yeah.
also what my entire college experience was like every day at Georgia Tech.
I can attest to that because I went to visit Jim at Georgia Tech as a freshman, and so
You're
basically,
like, where are all the girls?
yeah, I thought we did Halo
Precisely.
girls.
Yeah.
It was literally this. So every dorm room was open
Like
amongst
girls, you
the
mean Age
hallways.
of Empires.
God. So every door was open in their entire dorm hallway, and it was just cables like connecting Xboxes or whatever system they were using just in the hallway. Nobody shut their door. It was just a hallway open, and everybody was gaming and connected to like everybody.
Was it an all guys dorm or a hall that you were
Yeah.
on, Jim?
Yeah,
Yeah.
of course.
Michael, so you were in high school at the time, Michael.
Yeah, I was in high school. I went to stay with him for the weekend.
Oh, I vaguely remember that.
We went and had pizza at the dining hall at like 2 a.m. and we played video games.
Michael's like, oh my god,
and like ultimate frisbee. It was honestly
I think
it was
Michael
the
was
most
like,
fun.
my high school's cooler than this. So
No, it was actually fun. I mean,
Michael was like, isn't college supposed to be like better than high school? But yeah,
I feel like that's actually not bad, man. You're just hanging out late, like.
No, it wasn't bad at all.
Yeah. Was there any there's no alcohol involved, right?
No.
I didn't drink until I was 21.
Oh, I remember that.
I never touched it.
Never touched the stuff.
Never touched
the stuff. Anyways, go ahead, Tom.
Yeah. So Jim went to go flick the oven lock thing on. So these old school ovens, this is probably 2005-ish range, something like that. Locked it so no one could get in. And I remember Mom being so mad that all the this may come as a shock, but yeah, Mom was mad, but she was she was furious at Jim and just started just laying into him. And I have like 15 friends. Fortunately, they're all like close friends. And at that point, everyone was like, I've never seen a mom yell at a son that much.
Wait, so because when you lock the actual oven door, it just like goes to like 500 degrees, right?
Or it cranks up to like whatever max temp it goes to. It cranks up to that.
I have no recollection of this, by the way.
Jeez, you probably shut
it out. Yeah, shut it out.
Some trauma right there.
Were you in high school?
Yeah, I was in high school. I was like early in high. You might have been like a freshman or sophomore.
So I was in college.
Yeah, I think you were back visiting from college.
Yeah,
I think so. So like, why would I care if Mom yelled at me?
Yeah, I guess that's
you
true.
didn't.
I mean, yeah, you don't care. I'm not saying you're upset about the
she
yelling.
would kick you out.
Yeah. But yeah. Anyway, so we were doing that. And so it locks for 2 hours or so. It's like so hot. So everything in there burns and you can't cook anything in it for 2 hours. And so we still had like half the people to feed. And so it was like, oh, there goes our dinner plans for the evening. And I don't remember what happened after that, but I'll never forget sitting in the kitchen and just watching Mom lay into Jim and Jim be like, hey man, I don't know.
So that's an important thing too, because this is like 2003, 2002.
Yeah, maybe.
There's no iPhone.
Yeah.
There's no, where we lived, there was nothing you can't just go out and just grab food. There's no Uber. There's no Uber Eats.
Like the grocery store's closed.
That's true.
At that point.
Grocery store is closed. So like the only thing you could do is find a Waffle House near the interstate 30 minutes away.
7-Eleven.
Should have done that.
Or like go to the gas station or something and buy candy.
Yeah.
So if your dinner's ruined, everything's closed and you just like have to.
It was like we literally had to share like calzones after that because there was only like a few left. And so it's like no one got their whole calzone. But it was like a whole issue. But my friends were bringing that up at the wedding a couple weeks ago.
Oh my God.
They were like, I've never been so afraid of someone in my entire life than I was your mom yelling at Jim. I was like, that's like a normal day for us.
Well, realistically, though, I mean, you don't think about it because those old ovens, they literally lock and heat up. So whatever is in there gets eviscerated.
Oh, yeah.
The problem is
the clean cycle is just to torch it.
Yeah, that's insane. The problem is
I'm pretty sure that's how they cremate dead bodies.
It's basically the oven's version of that.
Yeah.
But the problem is if there's anything inside there when it starts that cycle, it can just catch fire and burn the whole damn house down, and you can't open the oven.
Yeah.
At all, which is insane, right? There has to be a loophole or something.
Yeah, some fail-safe or something that they have.
But I don't think there is because we would have opened it.
Yeah, it wouldn't have been a problem if there was a fail-safe.
Yeah,
it sucked back then with like the lack of Wi-Fi and no iPhones.
Yeah,
and nowhere to go. Like you like nowadays, like picture going to high school, you would probably get a cold brew coffee every single day before school, right?
Yeah. There's a Starbucks on the road all the time.
Wasn't even a thing.
There was nothing. You just went to school and like that you just took what you had from home.
You know what they used to go to was it Stylesboro, but not Stylesboro Biscuit. What was that like real old school gas station by Dr. Best's office, the vet office you worked at?
Minute Saver.
Minute Saver. There you go.
God, how did I just pull that out?
Yeah, I don't know how you did that.
I just remember seeing the IT minute.
Yeah,
they spelled it wrong.
Yeah, it was on the corner there, and people would get like
get that biscuit from there. Free.
Oh, free! They had a sausage or breakfast and a grits and stuff. Woo! I'd murder that stuff. But people used to bring that to high school. Yeah,
that was before like Chick-fil-A and stuff, though.
Yeah, it was literally we didn't even have a Chick-fil-A, and there you go. Yeah, the Sunoco right there.
Well, let's see.
This is where I was a tech. in high
That's
school.
right.
This is called Due West Animal Clinic.
Was it in the same parking lot?
No, it's
you
like
have to go out here.
Wait,
Hold on.
since
Let
when
me
is
take you down the road a little bit.
Oh yeah, there it is.
And
Wow.
this is the
This
minute
is the
saver.
minute saver.
M-I-N-I-T.
The friggin' minute saver, dude.
Wow.
They kept the sign, but it's a Sunoco now. But like,
Is that still there?
It's got to be, right?
yeah.
I have to see it next time we're in town.
I forgot the Brewsters was right there too.
Also,
Wow.
what a freaking Kennesaw sky, like dark, and it's probably 98 degrees. Look at that.
Do the listeners know we're from a place called Kennesaw, Georgia?
Probably
Yeah.
not.
Yeah.
And of
Yeah,
course,
everybody
God
does.
forbid, hey,
Yeah.
Google Street Maps car can't make it down the road in one picture without a Jeep Wrangler being in
Without
it.
a lifted Jeep Wrangler.
So true.
Not in Kennesaw.
God almighty.
The only picture. I mean,
Man,
there's so many of those floating around.
These just small businesses. Just look at the gas.
I
$2.49.
tell you what, gas was 75 cents a gallon when we were there.
It actually was like 87 cents a gallon. I will
Oh,
never
so
forget. Look, the racetrack.
I used to fill up my car for
41.
$13.
Yeah,
Oh,
easily. Those are the good old days.
I ain't
You
got
know?
much, but it's honest.
official
work.
fuel of NASCAR. Look at that.
But
the official fuel.
Yeah. Okay.
why does
all these stock
every
cars in the parking lot right here?
I have a
Here's
question.
Linda. Here's Linda going to work at the high school.
though.
I'm going to shop at the official fuel of NASCAR.
That's where I'm going to fill up my tank.
I'm going
Jim,
to fill
what-
up my tank. With this fuel, I'm going to go drive to the voting booth and take our country back.
God, I shouldn't have drank then. Unbelievable.
I mean,
Yeah.
first of all, do you remember how garbage this store was? No offense to the person who ran it.
I don't know. I never
What-
in
what
my
is
life
that?
knew what store that was.
Dude, I was literally just about to say, I have no idea what went on.
This
there.
was an antique store.
Was
Oh.
it?
Mom took me in here. I mean, I was like maybe 10, something like that, 12. And she dragged my butt in here a few times just to like see what they had.
Well, I know we didn't buy anything.
Oh, that's right. They would sell like plants outside. On
There was
the
like,
weekends
there was
and
like
stuff.
random
Yeah,
stuff outside here.
That's right.
And then my orthodontist was right here.
I mean, everything is within one block,
Yeah,
right there.
this is
Yep,
my
I remember that.
orthodontist
in the car
office.
next to the car wash.
wait.
No, it's up further,
It's,
right?
it's up a little bit. Yeah.
Oh, that's
right
the
here.
car wash. Wait, I
That's
have a
right,
question
the
though.
orthodontist is right
This is Dr. Ferrer, my orthodontist.
That's right. Oh,
I have a question though.
Can I
Why
tell a
did-
story about this?
Sure.
yeah.
You might have to edit this.
Oh, God. All right, let
That's
me get
fine.
my
Yeah, get your
I'm
Now
gonna
it's
marketing.
use-
ready.
I'm going to use medical terms only.
Okay.
Okay.
So I got my braces on when I was like, I think I was in 6th grade, so I was like 12.
Oh God Almighty.
All
that's
right. Let me edit that one out.
All right.
funny. Oh God.
Yeah.
Almighty.
All right. So what I was gonna say is
That's for the Patreon.
yeah, that's for the Patreon. Cellini Chaos.
Yeah. Oh
Um,
God, that's funny.
What I was gonna say, so that's leave it right there. Park that right there on that building. Why does that's a salon, by the way, for those of you who forgot.
Oh, there you go.
Is it?
For next to a car wash, by the way.
Yeah.
Why though does every single
Fits their parking lot.
business why does every single business in like small town Georgia or the South look like that? Like, why is that?
All of them.
Every single one.
I
That
don't
same
know.
awning with the
so
shingles
garbage.
on top.
From like
everywhere.
1960.
I think it's because literally people moved there in the like 80s and they just don't change it.
They
They're like,
never leave.
Yeah, they're like, why would I change this? Like, it still functions. Like, that's going to cost $500.
I don't know.
No
That's
one changed
crazy.
anything. God, that road is so funny, man.
Yeah, it's pretty nostalgic. I'm sure the listeners are feeling the same nostalgia we are.
Yeah.
for
They're like,
our
oh my
hometown.
God.
Make sure you
the
tell my
benefit.
braces story.
Yeah.
Yeah. The braces.
Patreon.
This store, I never went in this store.
It used to be Ace Hardware.
Yeah, that's right.
Really?
I
Oh,
mean,
God, that's
name
funny.
anything else you would possibly need in that same. And Shaw Pharmacy is right there on the right.
I was just going to go to Shaw's
Oh,
Pharmacy.
yeah.
So, oh my God, it's still there.
It's bought out.
It says Shaw.
Yeah, next to the Domino's.
Is that the? Oh, that's the Shaw Hickory. They must have named. Did he own that whole area?
Probably.
Maybe the pharmacist. So, I mean, this
Again,
was, oh no,
look at
it's
the
a different, it's different now.
Yeah,
So
but
this
look
was
at the
this was
building.
an independent mom and pop pharmacy right there.
Yeah.
That like, where do you see that nowadays?
Oh,
You see
that's
it?
nowhere.
You used to
Literally
see
nowhere.
it. You used to see it in New York quite a bit, and then that's kind of still fallen by the wayside.
Yeah, because there's your CVS pharmacy right
Yeah,
there.
it's hard to compete with the retail.
This is all new stuff.
Yeah,
Oh, that's all new.
stuff.
Wait, so even
That's, like,
Shaw
way new.
Pharmacy's facade, it's the exact same. It's like anything
Yeah.
from that era was just that same way. But anyways,
Yeah.
enough about our hometown. We were raised in Kennesaw, Georgia. By
Yeah.
the way, for anybody who's it's northwest of Atlanta.
This is the bank. I didn't really have much need to go here
No need for that one.
growing up.
I had about $100 in my account.
Yeah.
One
Kinda
time,
reckon
less than
mom
that.
sent me to the bank with a bunch of cash from our restaurant to like put
Oh.
in our restaurant account.
Mhm.
It was like $12,000, like in a little satchel.
No
Yeah.
shot it was that much money. Just judging by
Yeah,
swear
what are
to-
you
I swear to
talking
God.
about?
He's
What, they
one of
sell
those-
2 cars or something? What?
I swear to God,
No,
No
chance.
way.
There's no chance a daily amount from that restaurant is $12,000.
dude, I was
maybe
I was flipping.
1,200.
I was flipping. I was flipping through
Like
it, and I was like
150
hyperventilating over how much money I had in front of me.
Yeah, it's probably like
It's probably
1,200.
1,200. It's
Yeah,
probably
It's probably
$1,200.
$1,200.
12,000. I mean, that was
12,000.
like 6
That was
months
the-
of.
That was the annual revenue from that restaurant.
Yeah, it really.
Dude, I mean, it was like $800,000 in cash.
Yeah.
The suitcase.
Wait,
This is
Jim.
sick.
So
no.
describe. Just quit going down memory lane here on Due
I
West
know.
Road.
I mean, he's trying to make it to Harrison High School. That's what he's
I
trying
know,
to do.
jeez. but I do want you to explain, Jim or Tommy, tell us about the restaurant, because nobody knows about the restaurant. No one knows about our logo. I wanted to talk about our logo a little bit. Explain the logo, what the heck that's all about, because no one knows what the heck.
Hold on.
What's
Hold on a
the
second. First of all,
Can you find it?
yeah, it's
Mars Hill?
the address was 1795 Mars Hill. That was the bank.
You know what's in there now? Nick and I discovered what's there.
Oh, was it
Little
yeah.
Caesars.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's a
right.
Little Caesars, a highly successful Little Caesars.
I remember the bank. Okay, I remember the bank.
It was-
Now, this
yeah.
path that I'm
1,000.
taking, I cannot even tell you how many times I've driven through here,
Oh my god!
because this is where our restaurant was.
I mean, so many times.
Now it's now desecrated by a Little Caesars.
No,
God.
it's Club Realty. It is actually in the Club
Well,
Realty.
no,
spot.
we had both of
we
these.
expanded to the post office where the Little Caesars was.
Yeah,
The
Yeah.
you
remember
can
the
edit
post
this
office
and
was
just
there?
shoot straight to this part, Michael.
Yeah.
But basically, where Club Realty is, that's at Cellini's Pizza, and it used our logo. So this logo, this is our Cellini's Pizza logo.
I think we
It was-
explained that in an earlier episode.
No, I
It
don't
was-
think we did. What's the story behind it? Jim, go back
The
to
story
logo.
behind what?
The logo. Go back to it.
Because you know more about that. Because I was so young at the time, I don't remember
So-
like a lot of specifics.
So it's not actually Cellini Rounds. So that's obviously the name of our podcast, but the logo itself
I
was
mean, that wasn't rounding at the.
yeah. It was
No.
Cellini's Pizzeria, and it said brick oven on the side.
Yeah,
So-
Cellini's Brick Oven Pizzeria.
Yeah, so we weren't inside of the logo, obviously, but we added it to to tie in that whole theme of when my dad had that restaurant, because that's the restaurant we kind of grew up in. That's where we learned how to, throw pizza dough in the air when I was like 8 years old. That's kind of where it all went down.
Yeah.
So
I used to talk
was-
about that on my residency and fellowship interviews. I would talk about how for some reason I was really young, but dad would always take me to the restaurant in the middle of the day. And I learned how to cook. Literally, I would make like pizza or calzones and stuff. Got the stations, like the cold station right there. And I would make stuff, put in the oven, or like just literally cook all morning long as I was like 7 years old, something like that. And I literally learned at that time, people were like fascinated by that. I'd be like, oh, my brother's a veterinary neurosurgeon. I'd be like, "Meh, don't care.
Right.
Grew up in a restaurant, huh?
Did they?
what?
Did they really not care? They didn't find that interesting at all.
No, it's funny. No one gave shit that Michael was an interventional radiologist.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Good.
Everyone's like, I got a brother that's an interventional radiologist, and another one's a veterinary neurologist. And they're like, a veterinary neurologist, you say? I was like,
Yeah.
Well, I'll be darned.
yeah. No one had any follow-up questions about that. They're like, yeah, I know what an IR guy does. They're like, I'm a
Yeah.
radiologist too. I don't care about him.
Oh, I use Jim all the time in my interviews. That's all they want to talk about.
That's all they ever want. They're
Like,
like,
legit.
Was
they're
I
like,
was I doing neuro by time you were interviewing Michael, or no?
I think so.
I might have just
you were
started.
you were in residency
2013.
when I started IR for sure.
Yeah.
But I feel like I've mentioned it even on my job interview currently. I feel like I mentioned it a lot because it's a way for people to talk more about it, because they're so interested in that, and I know they will be interested in it because they're like, Wait a minute. What? That's a
Yeah.
thing?
No one's ever
They-
not interested in that. If you're familiar
is-
with medicine and you like animals, you'll
Yeah,
be like, "What?"
nobody knows what a vet specialist is. Like
No.
absolutely
Right,
nobody.
right. Unless you
Until they need us, and then their primary vet starts talking about it, and that's like not to I don't know get too freaking serious or whatever, but that's why I started doing social
Serious.
media, and I've been wanting to for a long time.
Yeah.
Because people
Is
will be
because
like,
nobody knows what we are.
yeah, they have no idea. I mean, I know when I would bring it up, they would either, some people would be like, oh yeah, I have like a Frenchie or a wiener dog or something. They're like, oh, they needed surgery on their back. Or it's like occasionally radiation. For some reason, I always remember radiation oncologists in vet med because their dog had cancer and they just needed it taken care of.
Who?
But just like people in general. That
Is
was like
radiation is there radiation oncology in vet world?
Oh yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I mean,
His
they're not
friend is
super
one,
common.
right?
You know, my friend Lauren is that.
Yeah,
What? I
Yeah.
didn't even know that.
Shout out
Yeah.
Lauren Askin.
I remember that
Wait.
because she came to, we had like brunch with her and her husband when they were in
Yeah.
Chicago that one time, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I remember Lauren.
Dr. Lauren Askin, radiation oncologist. I believe she works in LA now.
Wait,
Yeah.
so what? So that must be pretty good field, no? I mean, how busy are they?
Very.
Surprises.
The guy that I used to work with in Chicago was like literally doing radiation nonstop every single day. Like
That's crazy.
nonstop.
That's crazy.
But
I can't believe people pay for that treatment because it can't be cheap for an all cash.
Ooh.
'Cause it's not cheap for
No.
humans, so I can
Yeah.
imagine
It's
we
about
have insurance.
in Chicago, it was about $8,000 to do radiation for your
Like
dog.
one
Like
full
a
like
course of SRT.
Oh,
gotcha. Yeah.
It's going to be about
Wow.
$8,000.
what would
Wow.
they? Was it all just like primary tumors, or would they do like whole brain stuff? Or like,
Usually, like for brains, it's going to be like your pituitary macroadenomas.
okay,
That's a big one I
Gotcha.
send to, or like non-surgical gliomas that like French bulldogs and boxers get.
okay,
That'd be the big ones. Or like if we do take out a brain tumor or like a spinal tumor, and we have people that like are able to spend the money, they follow up and do radiation post-op
okay,
Wow.
after cytoreduction surgery.
okay.
So
That's pretty. What do they have? The big, like the huge machines and everything? I mean,
yeah, LINAC,
I don't know. I'm not familiar with any of
linear accelerator.
the
Oh, yeah.
radiation.
I don't
Familiar
really
with
know. I
that
mean,
too.
I don't really know it either.
Yeah.
I remember the big proton beam. That's all I
Yeah.
remember.
Yeah, proton
Yeah.
beam therapy.
I
Yeah,
saw
prostate, right?
the
Yeah.
biggest amount of money I've ever seen spent on a dog. Well, in one year, I kept track of this dog's invoices. This dog had glioblastoma multiforme, which is actually
Yeah.
pretty uncommon in dogs. But this French bulldog had it, and leave it to a French bulldog to be the dog that gets it. But
Every neuro
Pretty
problem in the
pretty
book.
pretty
over the
common in
course
humans.
of one
Yeah.
year, I'll get into the details of what he had, but over the course of 1 year, how much money do you think this owner spent on this dog?
Was it?
It
Man,
was 12 months.
Just 12 months, like
Mhm.
that 12.
And then I left to go, so he could be doing more right now, but
I would say 50K.
I was gonna say 52. 52.
$130,000.
Oh my!
I added it up because I could sit there,
What?
you can add up the invoice. You can just see how much somebody has paid in the computer
Wow.
system.
Did
How
they
do you-
pay it all?
Yeah, I mean, these are all like closed invoices because I kept
Wow.
seeing my colleague was working with this dog, and I
Oh,
kept seeing him. I'm
man.
like, he's on his 8th MRI and his 4th brain surgery and his 3rd round of radiation therapy. I'm like, but I kept seeing this dog, and I'm like, what is going? Like, how many things has this dog had?
Wait, at what
And-
point is it too much for that damn
Yeah,
dog?
that
Well,
poor
well before
dog's
that,
getting-
in my opinion.
But
But
4
he-
brain
um,
surgeries.
what's that?
How does that thing handle that many surgeries?
I mean, dogs don't need the front half of their brain. You can carve it out, and they're
Okay.
fine. And that's why, like, you can
Yeah,
just keep
'cause-
going in there and keep taking stuff out. They're like, you know,
Okay.
they don't need it. Like, they don't. Anyway,
No,
so
no,
I
no
was like,
decision making.
yeah,
Yeah,
not quite. No critical thinking for the whole.
let's see.
whole
There's
burn.
no reading, talking, driving,
Yeah.
writing.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I guess you don't need a lot of the brain.
yeah. I need my sense of smell, and if I don't have that, oh well, I'll just eat because I see it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Someone's
Yeah.
gonna feed me every time.
Wow.
Right.
Yeah,
My gait-
that's
yeah. So
is that a problem though? You see with a lot of dogs being so because I know some people will like we see it in human medicine a lot, obviously, but for animals, they can't really talk to you or tell you how they're doing or if they're doing terribly and just like so much pain from all the extra treatments.
Like,
Right.
I don't want to do this anymore.
Yeah, like do you see that in animals, people are over treating like that because there's no real
Oh yeah.
person
All the
telling
time.
them no. They're just
I
like,
tell
we need
people
to do what's right.
when I was younger, I wasn't as good at like just telling people what I thought, because I was like, well, whatever you want to do. But
Yeah.
now, I mean, I'll tell people politely, but firmly. I'll be like, look, this is not what you want to do. Like, this is not
Right.
fair to your
Right.
pet.
Yeah.
And they still sometimes don't listen to me. I'm like, all right.
Like,
Yeah, it happens
That's
in
how you
human
end up
medicine.
spending $130,000 doing 4 brain surgeries and however many radiation therapies.
Yeah, it happens in human medicine a lot too, but I feel like people have a better grasp on how the patient's doing, you know?
We also have a lot of outlets for like improving quality of care and stuff like that. I feel like the vet world doesn't have as much of
True.
that, where it's like
No.
the whole palliative sector and everything like that, and even hospice.
Right.
If we're talking at the end of it.
It's gonna
There's
emerge
an option there.
eventually, because there's a need for this sort of like end of life care, and that usually falls to either like physical therapy. Like, a lot of people will just send these dogs to physical therapy because they don't know where else to send them.
Like,
Yeah.
well, I'm running on a treadmill in a water.
Wait, is there
Right.
a hospice group?
So there are some companies that will do like at home
It's a genius
euthanasia
idea,
now,
by the
because
way.
Liz used to work for it.
Right, but is there like an actual hospice where
They
you just
kind of do that too. Like, they offer
ketamine
that
them
sort
or
of
whatever?
like at home hospice, like what Caitlin does, but for
Yeah.
dogs. But yeah, it's like an emerging field.
I feel like that'd be a good field to be in, you know?
Yeah, it would be. Liz didn't like it after a while because, like, I'll be perfectly honest, the pay was like very, very low. It was
Right.
a very low intensity job, but like she was not getting paid very much.
That's
at
because
all
you're a
to do it,
money hungry
because-
vet, Jim.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly.
All you care
Well,
about
I
is
mean,
money.
plus you're doing the work of the Grim Reaper.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, she would
Not exactly enlightening.
Low pay and
Yeah.
depressing work.
Hey,
She would show
every
up with
day,
a
it's
scythe.
depressing.
Yeah.
Liz would come out of the snow. She'd be like, "Oh, hey guys, sorry."
Yeah.
I had my scythe." Anyway, so I had an idea for the podcast today. I don't know if Jim and Michael actually followed up for our process, but I thought we
This will
could
probably suck.
I thought we could take a look at all right, well then let's cut this segment.
This is the worst segment idea I've ever heard.
I thought it was a great segment. Well, why don't we do that?
We'll call this segment "How to End Your Career in 5 Minutes."
There's
Hey, great idea.
I thought this guy had a good idea. I didn't know he was coming to us with this. This is the worst idea I've ever heard in my entire
this
life.
is not the worst idea ever.
I'd rather talk about who I voted for. I think there'd be less risk to my career.
I think so too.
Good
Is it-
night.
Is it that serious? Oh well.
Yeah.
Michael, cut that.
Man,
Now,
what is your first?
now I'm gonna save this.
When you were deciding on what specialty to go into, what did you
Oh.
dislike the most,
Yeah,
and why?
what I hated the most, first of all, was it was either cardiology or community practice.
Community practice?
Yeah, community practice.
I
One
mean,
of those.
Just
Dr.
like-
Best practice?
Yeah, like the one you
Like
grew
general
up in?
practice type stuff. And that's not, I'm obviously not crapping on anybody, but that just for me, I was just like, I can't do this. I don't
Why?
like this.
Why couldn't you do it?
It was just, I felt like it was like the analogy I make is that if medicine is like a pie graph and each section or slice of pie is a specialty, the perimeter of that pie is general practice. And like a deeper layer to that, but still a perimeter, is emergency medicine.
Right.
And then you've got all the slices that are, like I said, the specialties.
Right.
I really hated the idea of staying on the periphery of knowledge and not going to the center of this.
I see what
pie.
you're saying. So just knowing a lot about a little
Yes.
versus going in on one field.
No, no, it's the opposite. It's knowing a little about a lot.
So you like being on the periphery, or you don't like it?
I don't like that.
I'm
You don't like
confused.
being, yeah, man. Sick analogy.
No, it's a good analogy.
Killed it.
Yeah, yeah, it's perfect.
Wait, so you like knowing a lot
About a
about
little.
one thing?
Yes.
Don't dive
we'll
into
say.
the circle, Michael.
So,
Or
like,
no,
so
do dive into the
I
circle.
do. I want to, is what I'm saying.
Oh.
Okay.
So like in swimming, if you're good at one singular event, you're a one-stroke wonder.
Right.
That's what I want to be as a doctor.
I see. You want to be a
Okay.
subspecialist.
Because I can't even tell you how many times, like I love neuro, obviously.
Jim wants to do the
And-
50 free, and that's it.
Yeah.
Yep.
And when there's like a dog who's got like other problems, like these massive like endocrine disorders, like Cushing's disease and all this other stuff. And I just am like, look, I'm here to do an MRI and find a neuro problem. If I don't find one, you have to see somebody else.
That's what I say. You know, I always say it's funny is when we have
And real
patients-
quick, let me finish that.
Mhm.
Okay.
And the only reason I think that's important is because nobody can know everything to the level of detail that these problems need to have to be fixed.
Right.
Right. So I can't, like, you don't want somebody like me being like, oh, I'll do your MRI. And then also let me just go ahead and treat your hyperadrenocorticism real quick.
Yeah. No,
You
you
know,
don't want
like,
that. You
no.
don't want me doing that.
No.
But I tell the patients all the time that they're like, well, you know, what do you think I should do about this blood pressure medicine? I'm like, I have no
That's a
idea.
good question.
I was like, you don't want me telling you what to do with your blood pressure medicine or anything like that. I was like, you need to
Right.
go see your
And
doctor.
it sucks because if you do a good job at what you're a specialist at, then in my case, the pet owners will be like, they want to like use you for other stuff.
Right.
And you have to tell them like, look, I have no
I'm
clue.
not the guy for that.
Because they'll ask me about skin issues all the time.
Oh.
Like, how do I help his allergies? What do I feed him? What do I do for their teeth and their dental care? Can you do a dental while he's under anesthesia for the MRI? And I'm just like, across the board, no.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. I remember one of the IR guys I worked with as a med student, there was someone with diabetes. He was doing like a biopsy or something. There's a diabetes medication on there, one of the new ones. He was like, what is this? And he turned around to ask me as like a third-year med student. And I was like, I don't know. He was like, I can't treat diabetes. He was like,
Diabetes is one of the worst.
yeah. He was like, I
can't
don't
stand
know.
that disease.
He was like, I haven't looked at one of these
Yeah, it's
medications
awful.
in years. He was like, how am I supposed to know that?
Yeah.
It's that
of
topic where
all-
you're like, I know my field and that's it.
First of all, how fat is our country that our pets get type 2 diabetes all the time?
No, they don't. Really?
Yes.
Seriously? I thought that was just like a human
I
problem.
could go to
Oh
work
no. They get
every single
insulin,
day.
like
There's a
cats and
type 2
stuff?
diabetic cat sitting in our hospital
What?
I mean,
every day.
we're just trapped in a house. It's kind of the
Yeah.
deal.
Yeah, but I don't know why I didn't ever think of that.
it's like
Yeah,
you
there's
so
some
stick in
type
your
1s in
apartment
there
all
every
the
now and
time.
then.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I
But
did the
there's-
type 1, but
Type 1, fine. I mean, that is what it is. But like type 2 diabetes is like rampant. in
community
cats.
acquired pet diabetes.
Yeah.
I mean, how many fat cats have you seen though? And like fat dogs when you're on the
I've seen a lot
street?
of fat cats, but I didn't think about the
Yes.
diabetes part.
I mean, is it kind of funny
get
and
a-
cute when they're like enormous and chubby and walk
Yeah.
around? Like, yes.
Yeah, I mean, they're
but
cute and they're fat.
it's
but
not
it's-
good for them.
Oh,
Yeah, it's
man.
not good for them. I know.
Yeah.
Do you? How much do you hate seeing fat pets?
I don't like it. Pets don't get fat the way people get fat. So it's not like that big a deal. Now, diabetic cats do get a peripheral neuropathy, which is pretty like similar to people.
Yeah, that's
Really?
exactly what people
So
get.
they just like drag their feet and stuff, or
Yeah. They get this like clown shoe, sort of like floppy.
No.
Yeah. This sciatic
See,
neuropathy.
that's the problem though. Is like
Look at
humans think it's cute.
Yeah,
when,
that's
like they have,
right.
like, you
that's a
know.
problem.
I'm doing it right now.
Yeah.
I know.
Right.
But-
But no, to answer your question, animals get at least dogs and cats get fat differently than people do, and they don't get heart disease from it.
Really?
Yeah, they store I'm not 100% of this, but they don't get like atherosclerosis. They don't store fat in the outer part of their like what are those histolayers of your major arteries, like the tunica adventitia and all that stuff.
Mhm. The
Remember that?
intima and the media.
Yeah.
They store fat deeper within the arterial wall so it doesn't clog the blood flow.
Oh, I see.
okay.
So like the more outer layer.
I think, again, I'm not 100% on this. if
Right,
somebody
right,
watches
right.
this.
Gotcha.
I'm
Gotcha.
literally trying to remember like intro to
very odd.
pathology.
Someone's gonna be like, "You got that so wrong.
this wrong in a podcast.
How do you not know the layers of the artery?"
Well,
in a cat?"
whoever knows, you can correct us in the comments below.
Yeah, put a
So
comment
yeah,
down.
my least
We'll pin it.
favorite discipline in medicine is, like I said, community practice or like GP stuff. And again, I am not diminishing the importance of this. I'm just simply saying I don't
Right.
like it.
yes,
right.
you are.
And then
Sell your car.
cardiology. I think cardiology is one of the most boring things I've ever seen. in my
Oh,
life.
torture.
Times
And
two.
when I tell you,
Yeah,
I like
Count me in on
reading it
that one.
beyond the basics of an EKG. I'm just like,
There is nothing worse than an EKG.
yeah,
It is
know.
a squiggle line, and there's nothing you can say differently.
Has there ever been an older test that somehow made it through unevolved?
Not that, but the cardiologist will be like, "Oh, look how much information is in this." I'm like, "It's a line that's squiggle on a paper."
It is that's very funny. It's the
What
most
is this, an earthquake?
antiquated. It is the most antiquated, but still used and still relevant, simplest form of a test.
I mean, there's other people
you're watching a little
floor.
thing on paper go like this, like it's 1950.
Every single person gets when they go to the hospital.
Can't you just see like a bunch of like French white dudes in the 50s all huddled around an EKG for the first time, like looking at it?
What is it? Wasn't there like
I think this patient's got a cardiac arrhythmia.
It had like there was like a bucket of water. It was like this giant contraption, and you had to like create the currents. I remember in at med school there was
for what EKG? Like
there's like a picture
stages
of
EKG.
I remember one of my first lectures about EKG. There's a picture of like one of the first EKGs. And
Jimmy, pull it up.
Yeah, it looks so funny.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
What?
Right? Hold on, let me share the screen.
Yeah. There you go. Yeah, I knew it.
What?
It's like a bucket of water.
What is that?
He's creating like the current because remember you have to have like the left arm, like all these like triangulation. Right. Or
the patient places his foot inside a tub of water and the probes.
Look at that machine.
I mean,
I
ridiculous.
have to give people credit for even developing something that insane. Look at that.
You know how much you have to know physics and like electric currents to be able to create this thing?
So he's using his two arms and his leg to be. That's like what the red, black, and white probe would be.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Whoa.
AVF, AVR, AVL.
That's it. He's literally doing that with buckets of water to like create current. I mean, that is insane. That's like the first X-ray machines were like just tubes with like.
The first X-ray machines are terrible.
Yeah.
I wonder, is this a patient
everywhere.
or is this the doctor right here?
I don't know what that is. It's probably
the doctor.
Yeah, it's probably the inventor.
If it's the doctor, how many people do you think this guy killed and got away with it?
Testing the electric current in water.
I did.
There's like
guys dropping a toaster in a bathtub.
Patient number 347 deceased.
Well, back in the day, that was okay.
Yeah.
There were no checks and balances back then.
William Einthoven. Oh, yeah.
This guy says sterile technique. Don't ever talk to me about that.
Yeah.
What is that? Yeah, I'm sure he changed the water between patients.
It's a dog. He did it on his dog first time.
Testing it on dogs. I knew this guy was a jerk.
Yeah, on the dogs and cats. Jerk.
Look at that bulldog. Look at that freaking underbite on that bulldog. When is this? 1906, he said?
Is that an English bulldog, Jim?
Is that 1906?
Yeah.
But look at the difference in the bulldog stature. Like the face is still messed up in the underbite.
They're tall.
Look how tall it is.
Yeah.
Wait, that's how they're originally bred to be?
Well, that's how they used to be.
Is that like a goodbye card to his dog?
Well, he's got a cat in there too.
Yeah. That's funny. Cat was probably walking around on the table during surgery.
Yeah.
Probably
fed him science diet and got him vaccinated too.
Yeah, I'm sure. Wait, so
I $130K on a bill for that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I used to be very into learning EKGs. I was like very good at reading them. I don't know. I like really tried and I liked reading them. But then I just got to a point where like I didn't use it for a year or something, and I just forgot all of it.
Yeah.
Because I did like a hardcore cardiology rotation one time, and like people were getting like their protractors out and stuff, and I was like, you're losing me here.
Yeah.
Yeah, like measuring like the intervals.
You got the cardiology fellows with the protractor in their pocket, and then
I was like, you're losing me here, guys. You're losing me.
I gotta bring an extra piece of equipment. No, thank you.
I mean, let's just do an angio or something. I'm very rudimentary. Like
why don't we just go look at it? Yeah.
Go straight to angio here, guys. But other time I did, the other reason I didn't, I actually thought I was going to be a cardiologist, because I like the way it sounds. Like I'm a cardiologist. It sounds nice. Sounds nice, right?
They're the surgeons of the.
I don't know. Yeah, I just like
I think being a neurologist sounds the coolest.
Really?
What? No one has ever said that.
Yeah, because we get to do surgery, and
Jim's the epitome
that's true.
of cool.
That's true.
Well, I wouldn't say that, but like to say that you're a neurologist in vet world, I think is a little cooler than cardiologist.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess, yeah. But anyway, so I wanted to do cardiology, and then I went and shadowed one of the doctors. No, med student. I went into clinic and I was like, and every single person just came in with multiple comorbidities. They're like, you have to be on these meds. You have to be on these meds. And they're like, nah. And the doctor's just like,
they're like smoking.
They're like, you really need to stop smoking and maybe like, start walking and stuff. And they'll be like, nah. He's like, well, this is what you need to do. And then they'll see him again. The same thing. It was like Groundhog Day because his patients would just be like,
did you lose weight? No. Okay.
No.
Right.
And some of them would try, but it was a very small percentage. And I guess maybe they hang on to that. But I just like, I got to a point where I was like, oh my God, like you get so burnt out from that when people are just like not listening to you. And then they have to do cardiac angiogram. And then like you're in the hospital and then they're like, and they still don't listen. It's just like, at some point,
you've got to be pretty happy to not have to deal with like patient noncompliance.
Yeah, that's why I kind of liked this. And don't get me wrong, there are some. I just don't have the patience for it, to be honest with you.
This is the monotony of it.
Yeah, some people do. Like Jeremy, my close friend who does primary care in rural North Carolina, he loves it.
Probably doesn't see any heart disease out there.
Yeah,
well, chicken and biscuits out there.
But that's like where I always say this, but that's how medicine should be practiced, right? Because it's very basic. You're the town doctor. People respect you. People listen to you. They value your opinion, and you help that. You help a lot of them, and a lot of them just don't know. They don't know any better.
Actually, I really enjoyed my family. I don't know if it's just a product of all my like mentors and stuff in family medicine. We're all really great people, and I enjoyed their practice because
we had a nice family practice doctor growing up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Doctor,
the guy was like really like I always felt like safe going there to see him.
Yeah.
Right.
Dr. Clemens, by the way, let's give him a shout out.
Yeah. I ran into him in a reading room one time when I was in med school. I was like, Dr. Clements. He walked in, one of the radiologists I was working with.
I'm sure he had no idea who you were.
No clue. Actually, he remembered our family because it's like, I mean, we went there for 20 years. So it's like
3 kids.
He's not you, Michael. He actually remembers his patients. They actually mean something to him.
His job is to remember his patients. He has the long-term relationships. Wait, so he is.
Shout out Dr. Clemens.
How do you pull this up so fast? Yeah, I'm not sure he wants to be associated on our podcast. Is he still working?
Says he's a pediatrician with Wellstar since 1996.
Jeez.
Yeah, but that was when Wellstar took him over. But he was our pediatrician when we were born.
He had a private practice for like as soon as I was born, basically.
Yeah.
He took care of our cousins, and they were significantly older than me.
He's taken care of 3 generations.
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
But I ran into him. I was in the reading room. I think I was on like a chest X-ray rotation or something. And he walked in, and I saw him talking. And he was like, "Oh, hey, Roger." And I was like, "What?" I was like, "Is that Dr. Clements?" I saw his white coat.
Roger Clemens?
Yeah.
Roger.
Oh no, what is it? Larry?
Yeah, Larry Clemens.
Roger Clemens.
You called him Roger Clemens.
Yeah, he's the pitcher for the.
No wonder he didn't know who the hell
Red
you were.
Sox.
Yeah. I was like, "Can I get your autograph?"
This guy thinks I'm Roger Clemens.
Yeah. I was like, "My God, Roger Clemens, you're still pitching, right?" But
mom used to ask him to tell me that I'm not fat when I was a kid. Because like I couldn't pass any of the physical fitness tests in elementary school, and she would be like, "Tell Jimmy that he's not overweight." Because they would like in school they'd be like, "You're overweight because you can't pass these tests."
Oh, dude, it's impossible to do a pull-up.
He's like, "You're overweight."
He's like, Then mom like slipped into 20. He was like, "Yeah, you're fine, man. You're fine. You're good."
Yeah, right.
By no 20, I mean a 10-cent piece.
Yeah, I was gonna say the funniest part of that was her slipping a 20.
Yeah, mom giving away a $20 bill. You out of your mind?
Yeah, I don't think so.
Yeah, not quite.
Wait, let's. Now that you're on the topic, Jim, pull up the physical. What the hell is the physical fitness challenges that we had to do?
It's a way to make children feel insecure. That's what it is.
What absolute nonsense was that? That might be worse than the food pyramid.
Yeah, it's probably all part of those like old school things where it's like, get out and kick, like all those random first lady things that they do.
Is it still a thing?
Curl up.
This is in California.
Curl up. What is a curl up? Is that a pull up with underhand?
It's a pull up with your hands like this.
Oh, okay.
So it's a chin up,
it's
right?
Significantly easier.
Chin up, yeah.
Yeah.
A push up. What's a back saver sit and reach?
Sit and reach.
That?
Yeah,
but that's the most asinine test of all time.
As if that has any correlation to anything.
Right.
You're physically fit if you can sit and reach? That's what I'm saying. Who
If you can touch
comes
your
up with this?
toes, you are fine.
You are fit. You're
also,
good.
it's like it's not an appropriate place to have the PE teacher telling children like what is fit and what is not fit. Like,
I remember
couldn't do a pull-up until I was in high
running the
school.
mile in like, I don't know, some elementary school grade, and like looking at my PE teacher sitting in a lawn chair drinking lemonade. And like they had this one lady.
There's no way that's true.
There's one lady. What do you mean?
There's no way she was in a
She was
drinking lemonade.
She was in a lawn chair. I could see that.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? She had this giant jug.
I was
of
gonna say,
lemonade.
Jim, I literally was like, I bet she had one of those huge things with a straw out of it.
Yes.
Oh,
and one of
okay.
those,
I'm thinking
one of
like
those,
like
one
a
of those huge,
summertime
like,
pitcher
accordion
that's
straws.
like open and you're just like pouring into another glass.
Yeah, like it was like one of those giant accordion straws. And
It's exactly what I was picturing.
Okay.
let me get to the one where you pull it out and it goes
Yeah.
like that.
Yep, exactly.
And
Yeah.
she had like lipstick that was like covering the top half where she was like putting her mouth on it to drink it. So the top half of the straw was covered in like lipstick.
Every teacher ever.
And it was 4 laps around
Every
this track.
teacher ever.
And like every time I got to her, I kept looking at this like lemonade thing that she was just sitting there drinking it with her lipstick. And I'm like, this person is telling me that I'm failing this test. And I'm out here just like, it's so hot and I can't move.
Y'all keep running now.
You better get that mile in under 9 minutes.
Quit that walking
Like,
back
you better
there.
get your A1C under 9. That's what I said to her.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Wait, so I actually remember this.
Mrs. Johnson was her name, by the way. Shout out Mrs. Johnson.
Johnson.
There you go.
The one and only?
Johnson. Yeah, the one and only Mrs. Johnson.
You know, I remember this because we were all swimmers and I was pretty physically fit and I couldn't do like half of these tests. And I was like, do I just like suck?
Yeah.
What's going on here? I would swim
Right.
every day. I was in the best shape ever. Yet I couldn't sit and reach because my hamstrings were tight.
Right.
from swimming every day.
Yeah, from swimming every day.
I was tight from practice the night before and I couldn't reach.
I don't think they did body mass index though.
No.
Yeah, they did body mass index. Dude, I got like calipers and like I would get on.
Oh,
a
they
scale.
did. Wait. Oh my God, they did. Tommy, can you imagine? Do they still do this? They used
Tommy,
to.
they might have phased this out by the time you came through because like it was.
Tommy.
I remember we had to go into the locker room, take our shirt off with the male teacher, and
Dude,
literally he
yeah.
would like evaluate our physique.
That,
Yeah.
like, that was
NFL
scoliosis
combo.
testing. That was
Oh, was that
scoliosis testing.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
like my PE teacher knows how to test for scoliosis.
Oh, he's
I know,
he's
that was-
basically a radiologist.
Yeah.
Like what are we doing?
Essentially.
That's what we do.
He was like, I think there's some kyphosis here at
Yeah.
T10.
This
Yeah,
guy
it's
was
the
like,
most-
ah.
Ridiculous thing ever. I'll
What
never
are we
forget though,
doing?
because when they were testing the body fat percentage, you're right, because they had the calipers. And you
Yeah.
would just walk up one by one and like lift up your shirt in front of everybody, and they would just pinch
Yeah.
your stomach.
Oh,
I'm like,
Lift up your shirt and they would pinch your like, your
Love
side
handle.
fat.
yeah.
yeah. And I'm like,
Like the caliper would like be like, for me it was like this.
at the most self-conscious stage in your entire life.
Ah.
in,
Yeah,
in
I'm
front
like-
of everybody.
I'm
Yeah.
in 5th grade and they're like, the caliper. Like I feel like I'm a cow. Like
Yeah.
just
Yeah,
being,
that's
like,
what you
tested
feel
for
like.
auction.
It's literally
Yeah.
like the NFL combine. You like go in there with your shirt off.
Yeah, only the
Yeah.
opposite.
Yeah. no, one's, no one's there to marvel at your feats
Yeah.
of strength.
And no one's paying you.
I
No
remember
one's giving
being
you a
so,
contract.
so embarrassed going there because Jim and
They
I were
can't-
both chubby kids. Like
They
preteen
can't
chubby
possibly
kids.
still do that today, can they?
I hope
can't
not.
imagine.
I really hope not.
Dude,
Should-
it
there's no
traumatized
way.
me. I mean,
I'm sharing
my
a screen.
insecurities about weight probably stem from that moment in time.
I bet they
Probably.
do.
Yeah.
Probably.
Literally being like, hey, take your shirt off in front of all your friends. I was like, please, God, no.
Yeah. Please don't. That's what I'm saying is, but yeah, I
Oh,
mean,
dude, the worst is when you played basketball and there were shirts and skins and you got on skins.
Oh, horrible.
How brutal was that?
That was truly the worst.
One time I refused to take my shirt off and like everybody was so mad because they kept passing it to me on accident.
No.
And they were like,
Pass it back.
why won't this guy take his shirt off?
The funny thing is we were all swimmers. And so it's like you would go to practice that evening and literally wear a Speedo to practice for 2 hours or whatnot. But
right.
for some reason in the school setting, you're like, please,
Different.
God, don't make
Well,
me
just-
do this.
Well, because you get in a pool and you're covered up from here down.
Yeah.
True.
You're like swimming, everyone's there together, practice, whatever. And
Right.
It's like,
And you're honestly so tired that you can't even pay attention to
yeah.
it.
Yeah, you
Plus,
don't
you're
care.
like better friends with all of them and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But
and
at
you've
school,
been friends
man.
with these kids for 10 years already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
Everyone knows
You-
you're fat. It's
you,
okay.
right. You go to high school and all of a sudden, you know, it's like the quarterback of the football team's on like playing against me in basketball. I'm like, I can't do this.
I
And
know.
I have to do this with no shirt on.
So
Even
embarrassing.
worse.
Thanks.
Oh God, what a we had to be like the last generation of people that did stuff like that. And
I
it's
think
like,
there's
there's no way it's like
it
that
and we
now.
weren't.
like, could you imagine if Beatrice is in school and they're like, oh, let's do like, obviously she's a girl, but like they won't do this, but like shirts and skins were like sports bras or something, like that would be asinine. You'd be like, no,
Yeah.
What are we talking about?
Dude, you think I'm letting my daughter go to school and get her skin calipered to test her body fat
Oh,
by
I know.
a PE teacher?
I know.
There's absolutely no shot.
I know.
Of it.
Okay.
Also the scoliosis test too. That was, I think there's a couple things that really, so the scoliosis test, for some reason I was always weirded out by it, because you just like go single file in the locker room and take your shirt off in front of the PE teacher, and he's like, bend over.
Yeah, you
I
bend
was- I
over in
was-
front of the PE teacher with your shirt off. And
Yeah. I always thought that was weird, even though I didn't know
And see-
why, you know? But then the other thing
What
I
do they
thought was,
see?
I don't know. I mean, what if you're just leaning wrong?
Yeah.
You know?
No, he's a medical professional, so he'll know.
But you're always scared at that age because you're like, I don't even know what scoliosis is. Is it bad? Like,
Yeah.
am I gonna die?
I know. I was like, why am I doing this? Like, can
Yeah.
you explain to me what?
But also, why were we doing it at
Yeah.
school?
It's
Like,
like,
it doesn't-
some I don't know why that's the place that you're screening for scoliosis. Was there some national
what would they do if your PE teacher thought you had scoliosis?
you
Yeah,
go to Dr.
they don't-
Clements and he'd be like, you don't have scoliosis.
Yeah, yeah.
they don't
You're
write
fine.
you a script. Like, I
They
don't
just pump you
understand.
full of vaccines.
They just send it home with you. You know, I don't understand. But that was
I got a
weird.
prescription from the PE teacher.
Yeah,
Prescription.
that was
More
weird. And then
sunlight.
I also thought that the where they would bring everybody single file and test for lice. You remember
I
that?
don't-
Yeah, I
barely
remember that.
remember getting lice tested. That was
You go
really
one at a
young.
time, and they
Do
would
you
comb
remember-
through your hair. I'm like,
Yeah. You remember being nervous about it? You're like, "Oh, I
Terrifying.
have lice. And it's like, I don't have
Yeah.
lice.
Oh
What are
my
we
I don't even
gosh,
know what
lice.
lice is.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like
you know,
knowing
7
now,
years
like,
old.
someone was like, oh, your kid needs to check for, oh, like they don't have lice. Like, I know they don't have lice. I don't need you
Right.
to check. I wash their
Yeah,
hair.
I
every
don't-
night."
I don't know. It was very odd to me. Those are the two things where they march you into a room and check for lice and check for scoliosis. Two things that people at school should not be testing for.
No. I wonder
Our
if we can
Uncle
ask
Ben
mom
had-
this.
What?
Our Uncle Ben had lice. Oh,
Uncle
I'm sorry.
Ben.
That's Uncle Ben's rice.
Oh,
No.
Man, that was worse than
God,
my
that
idea for
was-
the
that was
segment.
one of the worst jokes I've ever heard in
Yeah,
my life.
God.
Okay. All right.
Jeez.
I mean, you couldn't have possibly thought that was going to go anywhere.
It's good rice company.
Ah,
Oh,
it is good rice though. The wild
Yeah.
rice.
We're specialty in all of medicine. Interventional radiology.
Yeah. Would you ever do that, Tommy?
what?
Interventional.
Would I? If it was like, so I thought I wanted to do interventional actually when I first was going through stuff. When I interviewed for residency, I was like, oh, I'll do interventional. And I
I
did
mean, it's a
like,
cool field.
yeah, it's like very cool, but I think it's evolved into something that like it's progressed to like it's almost like a surgical field now, and
It's
not
its own
really-
worst enemy.
Yeah, so
am-
it evolved into something that I wasn't as into, and I was like, okay, that's not what I
A
wanted.
lot of people aren't.
I
Yeah.
placed a catheter today, and somebody said, "What are you doing?" I said, "I just did some interventional radiology. Don't worry about it."
How good you feel?
I was like, "Phew, "Sign me up."
I'm
that all it
basically
is?
the
Yeah.
Does
think that's
somebody
a
have an embolus I need to dissolve?
It is very much it's weird because it's a weird cross between surgery and radiology, you know,
It's
but
not a
there's
cross between surgery.
No,
It's
there-
not
no, it-
surgery.
It's definitely
it
become.
definitely is.
It's not surgery. Go ahead.
It's no, it's like surgery.
It's not
adjacent.
surgery. You're right. It's not surgery, but a lot of it is going to the way of management like surgery, being in the hospital
Yeah.
like surgeons, long hours, long procedures, you know, clinic. It's going that way, but which is a good thing because there's a lot of advances in our field, but it's also for people who didn't want that side of it, like myself. I wanted something that was kind of halfway between surgery and radiology. That's what I took.
If surgery is a 10 and radiology is a 0,
0,
which is where this is my scale. This is how the scale should be.
Oh, okay.
Interventional radiology is like a 0.2.
What's like a 3?
A 3?
Yeah.
Like doing a joint tap on a knee or something like that.
I mean, I do that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you?
Yeah. That's part of radiology.
Did I say 3? I meant 0.3.
Like all the arthograms and stuff
Hold
like
on,
that.
do it.
Like
Name
most
it. Name it.
radiologists do.
You can take selfies while you practice and do stuff. So I
Jim,
don't
name a procedure, and I'll see if I do it.
Yeah.
name a procedure.
Not surgery, a procedure, and I'll see if I do
Bunion
it.
surgery.
I just said not a surgery, and you said a surgery.
Okay, I didn't hear that part.
Jim's like a Whipple.
Billy Roth, or what do you call it?
Bill Roth.
Bill Roth
Yeah.
surgery.
Ruin why?
What do you want me to do? Name a procedure?
Yeah, name a procedure, and I'll see if I do it. That's not surgery.
A head transplant.
That's a surgery. Are you?
Oh, that's right. You don't want me to name a surgery.
How dumb.
Okay. Name a procedure.
What the hell is a head transplant?
Think of any procedure you've heard of in your life.
That's
not
not
a surgery.
Okay.
And I'll see if I do it.
Oh man.
Or if I can do it.
I don't
He's
know.
trying to think of one that's you can name any procedure you've ever heard of.
Tracheal stenting.
Yeah, we've done it. There's a lot of IRs that do that.
Nah, you hesitated. I don't think.
No,
you
there
have.
are IRs that do that, but that's the most. When would you do that? That's the most rare thing.
You tell me. Do you do stuff with the heart?
No.
No.
I mean, if we were trained to, we could, but we don't. That's interventional cardiologist. That's so
technically
special.
like if you lose like a IVC filter leg or something like that into the heart or something, you can go fish it out.
Yeah.
Like in the pulmonary artery or something.
What is the most common thing that you do?
Lines.
The most common, probably like ports, drains, biopsies.
Ports, drains, and biopsies?
Yeah, those are probably the
sounds
most
really
common.
hard.
Most common 3.
Jesus, sounds really hard.
Oh man.
I got a question for you guys.
Hit me. God, this guy. Here we go.
Yeah. Here comes the Michael editing hour.
Yeah, I should know that any question you preface with that is going to be an edit.
Have you guys seen a patient just code and die
Of
during a
course.
procedure? Not
Of
that you're
course.
doing, but just during a procedure.
Of course.
Yeah.
It happens all the time. Surgeries.
Jesus, really?
Yeah.
It's part of being
You got to realize though, Jim, is people are very sick.
Yeah.
Like very sick.
Right.
So you have people who are teetering just at life in the hospital a lot of the times. You take them into surgery, put them under immense stress, anything could go wrong.
Yeah.
So it happens more than you think. But it's
Gosh.
it's not common, but it's
like if you're messing around in an artery or something, you dip off an embolus or dissect.
That's what I was going to say.
anything.
When you're
happen.
putting things inside their major vessels, you're just going to break off an embolus at some point.
Yeah.
Definitely that's a risk of every procedure, but every single procedure has risks. That's why less is more sometimes, but sometimes that's our entire field of human medicine is just the benefits outweigh the risks.
That's why like when people seem so upset that like those people that always want surgery for something, they're like, oh, I'll just get surgery on it, fix it. It's like, no, like every single surgery comes with its own huge set of risks. Right. Which is why the doctor doesn't want to do the surgery unless they know it's going to help them.
Yeah. No,
yeah,
absolutely.
Dude, I never do surgery unless I know it's the best thing to do.
Right.
Like,
yeah.
Never.
You're right. Just the risk of opening something up, anesthesia and all this stuff. It's like, it's such a bigger, we do it so successfully in medicine where it's like, I mean, it's such a high success rate of like people coming out of anesthesia that they're like, oh, the risk is effectively nothing. And it's like, I mean, technically yes, but it is like a huge undertaking. No, the simplest surgery you can think of is a huge undertaking.
Right.
Yeah, I think anesthesia is it's so cool. I almost went into anesthesia, but that's all it is. You're just basically just flirting with the other side the whole time and balancing and making sure they stay alive.
We had a professor call it the titration of death.
That's
Yeah.
an accurate way to.
I mean, it's one wrong move and that's that. But it's anesthesias.
People don't realize that like when you're going under anesthesia, you're literally being pushed towards death, but not going all the way.
Yeah. You're being
just enough to turn it all off.
Yeah. It's like when you do one of those like crazy like bungee jumps in a foreign country or something like that, and you just have to rely on some strap to keep you from falling.
Your hair like hits the water on the way down. Just
some guy's barefoot hanging over there,
and at the last second you're like, did I sign a waiver?
Even if you did, they're like, what do we care about your waiver?
Right.
It reminds me of like one of those like nuclear reactors where you're like pulling down, like deactivating it, and like you just can't go too far too fast, you know? It's just like
right.
Yeah. Or when they power up the
Death Star?
Yeah. I was like,
yeah, here we go with the Star Wars.
That's the exact noise. Yeah.
Dude, an underrated part of Star Wars was the sound effects.
Here, let's just end the podcast. Every podcast we're talking about Star Wars.
Yeah.
Star Wars.
Yeah. I mean,
how about the TIE fighter sound?
It's unbeatable.
Yeah, it really is. It's a good. The sound effects were fantastic in that movie.
Yeah.
Hold
on, Tommy. You never shut up, Tommy. You never told us your least favorite subdiscipline in medicine.
My least, wait, the one that I would want to do the least?
Yeah, I was the only one that actually talked about it.
Oh, yeah.
No,
I think.
What did you say, Michael?
I said cardiology.
Okay.
See, mine's like a mix. I'd either like critical care, nephrology.
Critical care is terrible. Oh,
yeah. I
like critical care.
Oh,
no,
not me,
don't.
man.
I do. I don't know why. It was kind of fun.
Dude, like critical care, it's just like the degree of how sick everyone is, like what you feel like you're doing all the time. I
could see that.
You don't have a lot. You don't have a lot of success.
Every patient is just like this not uphill battle where you're like, oh, every inch just to get a little better, and then it's like, oh, then they crash again, and it's like, let's go back up the hill. And
yeah, you start all over.
Yeah,
and
they're like,
every
here's
single
20 of those
lab
patients.
value. They're treating with like an entire tree of syringe pumps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like you look at the thing, and then every morning you get the labs, or like, and it's like everything's either up, got the arrow up or down. It's either red or green. It's like,
yeah, it's very
nothing's
much
normal.
Yeah, it's constant.
Where I work now, we have a dog that's on the ventilator like every day. There's a dog on a ventilator, and the success rate is not very high. Not just with us, but just like everywhere. Like that's just a thing.
I'd imagine. I did a video the other day talking about. God, I forgot what I was talking about. But one of the stats from the video was like I think the success rate to make it out of the hospital after having a cardiac arrest was like 20% or something.
I thought it was lower than that.
It might have been lower. Maybe it was 17 to 20% or something.
Yeah.
But if you have a cardiac event, the chance of making it out of the hospital afterwards is like under 20%, basically. We'll just say that.
Right. It's shockingly small.
Yeah, 1 in 5 chance. If everything goes right, 1 in 5 chance. Which is crazy.
That's that kind of stuff. That, and then obviously nephrology, I couldn't deal
nephrology is too tedious. Dialysis is too complicated. My little brain can't handle that.
No, everything with a kidney is the most confusing thing in the world.
Yeah,
I'm like, I got nothing for you here.
Isn't there like a renal interest society? Isn't that a thing?
Maybe there's like a dialysis society.
International Renal Interest Society, IRIS.
Maybe there's like a kidney failure society too. I forgot what a huge like world global. God, what is it called?
I feel like the kidney is the only organ with fans.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's some kidney fans out there.
People like love the kidney and they become urologists and stuff, or nephrologists.
Nephrologists do love kidney physiology.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, that's not me, man. They're like, oh, I mean, it's crazy what it does, but it's like keeping track of every segment, like the tubules and all this stuff.
Do they hold it over you?
What?
Do they hold it over you with their knowledge, and they're like, let me tell you something about this aldosterone level.
I will say, I used to hate consulting nephrology, and they come up and they're like, they look at the labs in the back. He's on fluids? oh, what are you doing?
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, I don't know, man.
Yeah,
I'll
I
take them
know.
off.
I used to
Relax.
hate it when people did stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like, especially in vet world, where I would just be like, bro, seriously? Like,
Everybody-
what are you?
Everybody
Normal
thinks they know how to
saline?
manage.
Okay.
Yeah. Everybody thinks they know how to manage better than the next person.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. What's his fluid rate again?
I do that as a radiologist.
Yeah.
I'm like, what are we doing here? This is like
Yeah.
standard
are we doing
practice.
here?
As if I know
Yeah.
anything that's going on.
Right.
I just don't.
Um,
I'm like, don't read that.
Sometimes I'll mess with interns. I'll be like, hey, I think you need to bump up that rate a little bit. Just like point to random syringe pumps.
They probably laugh.
I hope you make it abundantly clear you're joking. They're not like,
Yes, of course.
yeah,
Yes, doctor.
Yeah, yes, doctor, right away.
right away.
We got some new interns in our hospital, and they're terrified.
I'm sure.
I was.
I remember when I was terrified.
Yeah,
Still
dude.
am.
Do you remember how scared you were?
Yeah.
Yeah. I had no idea what's going on.
I remember my first overnight shift being like, I don't know what to do.
Yeah. I
People
think I
ask you
started on
questions.
overnights. No, my second month was overnights.
Yeah,
And
I was
I
about
started
my
in,
second month in. I did my first overnight shift, and I was like,
I started in the ICU and I was just like standing there in the middle, like just doing circles. I'm like, I have no idea
yeah,
what to do here or
yeah.
how to
And the-
manage any of this.
And the good thing about South Florida is that there's no crazy people at 2 a.m. Oh wait,
No.
Yeah. Oh,
not
wait.
even a little bit.
Yeah, that was a crazy time. I remember my first order I put in as an intern. I was like terrified because now all of a sudden you finish med school, you can just order whatever medicine you want. Like doesn't make any
Yeah.
sense. And
Like 3 days ago, I couldn't do any of this. Now they're
patient had
"Yeah,
like
go
a
for it."
headache. A patient had a headache, and the nurse called me. Was like, "Can we just get some Tylenol?" I was like, "Yeah." And I was like, "Wait, Tylenol causes liver failure. Let me check liver function."
Tommy, what did you do this weekend?
I gotta know.
I
have
went
to know.
to.
I want to know
woke
from
up-
the. No, you went to sleep at what time and woke up? I gotta hear this. I
I
want to know
woke
what
up-
Tom and Cellini does on weekends.
Take me through your hour by hour starting Saturday morning.
So I woke up.
At
we woke
What
up-
time? What time?
I think it was like 7:30 or so.
No,
I get up-
Bullshit.
I swear to God,
No
I'm an hour
way.
behind you guys. So when I text you after I've been up for
7:30
30
East
minutes,
Coast or damn it, West Coast time.
I nailed it.
0 Central Time.
Yeah. Ooh. But so like around 7:30, went to go work out like 8:30 or 9 or something like that. Worked
So
out
that's the first thing when people have nothing to do, they say or something like that, like with the time.
yeah, it was like it was somewhere around there. But
Yeah,
then
I didn't care about the time because the time doesn't matter to
It
me.
was like 8:30 to 9:30 somewhere in there. Like we just kind of got up.
yeah, well, some of us had to work all week. So then I what did I do? We just came home and then I think I did laundry. I had to do some laundry after that in the morning because we don't have in-unit laundry.
I'm
so I
waiting on this to differ from college life, but go ahead.
So and then a friend of ours got a Top Golf thing. It was beautiful here.
Still
actually-
college.
Yeah. So we
Yep,
went to
very
go play
college.
Top Golf with friends because their in-laws were in town. So we
Mhm.
Okay.
all went, they were big golfers. Played Top Golf and they had a party at their place for the in-laws, and we basically stayed there until like 10:30 at night from
This is
like
every college Saturday. Keep going.
Yeah.
so in the afternoon.
So-
that was about it. And then we came home.
And then Sunday was a wash.
Yeah, Sunday didn't do much there.
What did you do? Nothing.
I just randomly cooked and made them real pep. And then
I'm over here doing all this stuff. Tommy is just like,
I'm trying to learn. I'll learn how to edit. I've just been trying to take care of stuff. I work more
you-
more days.
Do
than
you realize
Jim
how
does.
tired
Not
I
true.
was on Sunday?
Why? From 2 days a week I'm working.
Oh. From watching my daughter run around the woods and trying to keep her from killing herself for 8 hours during the day.
Jim, why do you have the mic so
I
close to
mean-
you?
Because we're on hour 2 of this podcast and it's time to get serious.
You know, I did. I read 65 CTs, came home, filmed 2 videos, and now I'm doing a podcast.
Oh, that was today, not Saturday.
Yep. This today.
Yeah, well,
Saturday
look.
I spent 6 hours of my time editing, uploading, and figuring out how to upload podcasts to every platform.
At
Well,
least at least I do the thumbnails.
Yeah, at least you do
This-
something.
I mean, this first of all, what does that take? A minute?
No, it takes me like 10 minutes. Okay, well that's infinite greater time than what you do for anything, which is 0.
That's
I
infinitely
mean, then
greater.
here, we'll do. Why's my lights over right
I'll
there?
tell you what, Tommy, when the denominator allows for any number other than infinity on our time ratios, you let me know.
All right, I'll do that.
You guys want to wrap this up because it's
Yeah, let's go ahead and wrap it up.
okay. Tommy hates nephrology. Michael doesn't like cardio. And I don't like cardio either.
Yep.
Yeah.
Small world.
Or critical care. Not the
Yeah, I
people
don't
that
like
do
cri-
them.
I don't like critical care
I
either.
just don't like the subject
The
matter.
specialty in general.
The subject matter for myself is not one that interests me or comes naturally to me. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, I'm definitely doing the right thing for me. I can tell you that.
On that note, everybody, thanks for I'll be like Graham Stephan. Thanks for watching. Make sure you smash that like and subscribe button. It really helps the channel.
We need to talk about what Joe Biden just said. The Fed Reserve.
Meet Kevin for everybody.
Yes,
All right. So that's it. We'll see you all on the next podcast. Make sure you listen on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and now Spotify if you don't already.
Yep. Now you can listen to it in the car and close the app out and you still listen to us. It's perfect.
Yep. No thanks to Tommy.
If you have working audio in your car, unlike Tommy, then you'll listen.
All right. We'll see you on the next one.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.